Hello. Today I would like to talk about Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers in history. He made significant contributions to logic, science, ethics, and politics, shaping Western thought for centuries. Let's know it. Aristotle was one of the greatest philosophers in history, shaping Western thought for over 2 millennia. He was born in 384 BCE in Stagira, a small town in northern Greece, in the region of Macedonia. His father, Nicomachus, was a physician to King Amyntas III, which gave Aristotle early exposure to science and medicine. When Aristotle was around 10 years old, his father passed away, and he was taken in by a guardian. At the age of 17, he moved to Athens to study at Plato's Academy, the most prestigious learning institution of the time. Aristotle studied under Plato for about 20 years, deeply absorbing his teacher's ideas while also forming his own perspectives. Unlike Plato, who emphasized abstract ideals, Aristotle focused on empirical observation and logic. When Plato died in 347 BCE, Aristotle left Athens and traveled to Asia Minor, staying at the court of Hermias, a philosopher king. There, he married Pythias, the niece of Hermias, and together they had a daughter. After Hermias was executed by the Persians, Aristotle moved to the island of Lesbos, where he conducted research on marine biology. He studied and classified many species of animals, making significant contributions to zoology. In 343 BCE, Aristotle was invited by King Philip II of Macedon to tutor his son, Alexander the Great. Aristotle taught Alexander for several years, imparting knowledge on philosophy, politics, and military strategy. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander developed a deep appreciation for Greek culture and intellectual pursuits. In 335 BCE, after Alexander became king, Aristotle returned to Athens and founded his own school, the Lyceum. The Lyceum became a center of learning where Aristotle taught and conducted research. Unlike Plato's Academy, which focused on theoretical philosophy, the Lyceum emphasized empirical research and observation. Aristotle's students were known as the Peripatetics because they engaged in discussions while walking around the school's covered walkways. He wrote extensively on a wide range of subjects, including logic, ethics, politics, metaphysics, biology, and physics. His method of logical reasoning, known as syllogism, became the foundation of deductive reasoning. In his work Metaphysics, he explored the nature of existence and the concept of causality. Aristotle classified causes into 4 types: material, formal, efficient, and final causes. His Nicomachean Ethics laid out principles of virtue ethics, arguing that happiness is achieved through a balanced life. He introduced the idea of the golden mean, which suggests that virtue lies between extremes of deficiency and excess. In politics, he examined different forms of government and advocated for a constitutional government as the best system. He analyzed monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy, weighing their strengths and weaknesses. Aristotle believed that humans are naturally political beings who thrive in organized societies. He also made lasting contributions to rhetoric, defining the 3 modes of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. His book Rhetoric remains influential in public speaking and communication studies today. In the field of science, Aristotle was among the first to classify living organisms based on shared characteristics. His observations on marine life were remarkably accurate and were used for centuries. Though some of his biological theories were later disproven, his classification system laid the groundwork for taxonomy. Aristotle also contributed to physics, proposing theories on motion and causality. However, his ideas on physics, such as the geocentric model of the universe, were later corrected by scientists like Copernicus and Galileo. His influence extended to medicine, as his ideas shaped early anatomical and physiological studies. Aristotle's works were preserved and studied by scholars in the Islamic world during the Middle Ages. Philosophers such as Avicenna and Averroes wrote commentaries on his works, keeping his ideas alive. His writings were later rediscovered in Europe during the Renaissance, profoundly influencing Western thought. Aristotle's philosophy became a cornerstone of scholasticism, particularly in the works of Thomas Aquinas. His ideas on logic and reasoning were foundational to the development of modern science. During the Enlightenment, thinkers such as Isaac Newton and Immanuel Kant engaged with Aristotle's ideas. His influence can be seen in modern ethics, politics, and philosophy. Though some of his scientific theories were later revised, his approach to observation and logic remains relevant. Aristotle believed that knowledge should be based on systematic observation and rational analysis. His approach laid the groundwork for the scientific method used today. Throughout his life, Aristotle wrote an estimated 200 works, though only about 30 survive. His writings were primarily in the form of lecture notes and dialogues. Many of his works were lost over time, and some were only preserved through translations. In 323 BCE, after the death of Alexander the Great, anti-Macedonian sentiments grew in Athens. Due to his association with Macedonia, Aristotle was accused of impiety, much like Socrates before him. To avoid persecution, he fled to the island of Euboea, saying he would not allow Athens to sin twice against philosophy. A year later, in 322 BCE, Aristotle died at the age of 62 from natural causes, possibly a stomach illness. Despite his death, his legacy continued to shape intellectual thought for centuries. His influence can be seen in philosophy, science, politics, and rhetoric even today. Aristotle's works have been studied by generations of scholars, shaping disciplines from biology to ethics. His concept of logic remains a fundamental part of critical thinking and argumentation. His ethical theories continue to guide discussions on morality and human behavior. Aristotle's insights into politics have influenced the development of democratic systems. His classification of knowledge into different fields set the stage for academic disciplines. His teachings remain essential reading in universities around the world. From ancient Greece to the modern world, Aristotle's contributions have stood the test of time. He remains one of the most influential thinkers in human history, a true pioneer of knowledge and wisdom.